Look at this kid's face. 17 years old. Looks like he should be asking permission to use the bathroom, not sending grown men to the hospital. But watch what happens when someone makes the mistake of disrespecting him. This is Tenshin Nasukawa, and what he did to the world of combat sports shouldn't be possible, because this teenager just accomplished something that legends twice his age couldn't even dream of. Here's what keeps me awake at night. This kid went 44 professional fights without losing once. Not one single defeat. In a sport where champions fall every weekend, where one mistake ends careers, where experience and size usually determine everything, this baby-faced teenager made it look like he was playing a video game on easy mode. But here's the question that haunts every single fighter who stepped into that ring with him, every coach who watched the tape, every fan who witnessed the impossible. How does someone so young, so small, so innocent-looking become completely and utterly untouchable? Because what we're about to witness isn't just about natural talent. This is about what happens when pure artistry collides with absolute devastating violence. And the answer will shock you. Let me take you back to where this madness began. Summer of 1998. While other 5-year-olds were learning to tie their shoes, Tenshin Nasukawa was learning to destroy people. His father enrolled him in karate, not for self-defense, not for discipline. This was about creating a weapon. By age 11, he wasn't just competing, he was already dominating by becoming a national champion. But here's the thing, Tenshin wasn't satisfied with just being good at one thing. He discovered kickboxing and Muay Thai. And that's when the real monster was born. Look at this technique. This is a 14-year-old kid moving like he's been fighting for decades. 107 amateur fights. 107. Most professional fighters don't have that many fights in their entire career. Then something insane happened. In 2012, at just 14 years old, he was offered $100,000 to switch to boxing. $100,000 for a kid who couldn't even drive yet. But he said no. He chose to stay in his element. And that decision would change combat sports forever. Then July 2014 came, his professional debut at just 15 years old. His opponent, Tomo Arimatsu, a 24 years old, 9 years older, and supposed to be the experienced veteran teaching the kid a lesson about professional fighting. Look at this matchup. It's not even fair for Arimatsu. He just didn't know it yet. The bell rings, and 30 seconds in, Tenshin lands his first real combination. Down he goes, but this is where it gets beautiful. Most fighters would rush in, get sloppy, let adrenaline take over. Not Tenshin. Watch this finishing sequence. Every shot calculated, every angle perfect. This isn't a teenager fighting, this is a surgeon operating. 58 seconds. That's all it took for a 15-year-old to announce himself to the world. But this was just the beginning. While other fighters were throwing boring jabs and crosses, Tenshin was perfecting moves that shouldn't work in real fights. The cartwheel kick. Every coach in the world will tell you it's flashy nonsense, too risky, too slow, too telegraphed, except Tenshin kept landing it, and not against amateurs, against world champions, against legends. Then there's the rolling thunder, a technique so dangerous that most fighters won't even attempt it in training, let alone in a real fight. But when Tenshin throws it, it's not a desperate move. It's art. Pure devastating art that ends fights and ends careers. Look at their faces. These are professional fighters, men who've seen everything, and they can't believe what just happened to them. But here's what's really scary. Tenshin never celebrates like he just did something amazing. To him, this is normal. This is just a random Tuesday to him. And that's what makes what came next even more terrifying. It happened in August 2015 during an 8-man tournament. Winner takes all. Most fighters would be nervous. Most fighters would pace their energy, try to survive to the next round. Tenshin looked like he was waiting for a bus. He breezed through the knockout stages and was facing Taiki Naito in the finals, a man who's been destroying opponents his entire career, a man who got to this final the same way Tenshin did, by leaving a trail of unconscious bodies. This is a different kind of fight. For the first time, Tenshin is facing someone who might actually understand what he's capable of. What happens next is poetry. Violent, beautiful poetry that ends with Naito joining the long list of men who learned the hard way that Tenshin Nasukawa is different. Less than 10 minutes of total fight time, 3 unconscious opponents, 1 tournament champion, and the birth of a legend. But something bizarre. Something bizarre started happening. Combat sports events aren't usually filled with teenage girls screaming like it's a pop concert. Tenshin had become more than a fighter. He was an idol, a heartthrob who happened to destroy people for a living. The media couldn't get enough. Here was this clean-cut, polite, respectful young man who turned into a demon the moment the bell rang. And the fans ate it up. They'd cry when he got hit. They'd scream when he landed his signature moves. Combat sports had never seen anything like it. In 2017, Tenshin faced former IBF boxing world champion Amnat Ruenroing, a man who's been in the ring with the best boxers on the planet. This is a different level of opponent. This isn't some regional kickboxer looking for a payday. This is a legitimate world champion boxer who thinks kickboxing will be easy money. Early in the fight, you can see why Amnat was a world champion. The boxing is crisp, the footwork is professional, the experience is showing. But watch Tenshin adapt. This is what separates good fighters from great ones. He's not just throwing his usual combinations, he's solving a puzzle in real time. Then it happens.
Underway, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, knockout. They touch gloves and back to work. A little bit closer now, the distance. This could suit Amnat. But so far, jumping knee there from Tenshin. Keeping his punches nice and compact. So far, more of the combinations coming from Tenshin. Amnat not firing back as quickly as he could be, but when he does throw a punch, he goes in 100%. Watch for Amnat's work with his elbows if he gets into the clinch. Tenshin Nasukawa staying busier than a rooster in a hen house there. Once he moves with everything. Walking Amnat's head back there with a long jab. Amnat now firing in with some heavier blows, kicks, and following up with the punch. The referee breaks up the clinch here. No time for Amnat to work his elbows. More pressure from the lead hand of Tenshin. It's getting quite aggressive in there. Both fighters ended up on the canvas. No down call, back on their feet. We are just over halfway through round 4. I keep saying it, but do not blink, folks. So busy with his hands and his feet, Tenshin Nasukawa. I'm not trying to fire back, keep him at bay. Bunches of punches from Tenshin Nasukawa. Oh, nice lead uppercut followed by a left cross there from Tenshin. Just under 1 minute left in round 4. Tenshin's corner telling him that he's damaged the body of Amnat. He could be looking to capitalize on this with just 40 seconds left on the clock. Forward momentum, forward pressure. It is the body. He's sat him down. Tenshin Nasukawa with a brutal body blow to the midsection of Amnat there. Can he reply? Will he get up? The referee calls it. It's all over. Tenshin Nasukawa with a brutal body blow there, setting it up every time. His corner saw it. His lead coach told him, go to the body. You've damaged him, and he did do that, taking Amnat out the game. Tenshin Nasukawa, folks, never lets us down. Top of the game, absolutely on another level. Everybody they put in front of this kid, he takes them out, he finds a way.
But critics kept saying the same thing. He's beating nobody. Show us what happens when he faces a real killer. So they brought him Rodtang Jitmuangnon, the Iron Man. A man who'd never met a fight he couldn't win through pure, unrelenting violence. 13 straight wins. Not decisions, destructions. Men carried out on stretchers. Careers ended in minutes. Look at this matchup. It's everything versus everything. Youth versus experience. Technique versus power. Art versus war. Rodtang is confident. You can see it in his eyes. He's faced pretty boys before. They all break when the pressure gets real. Tenshin, as always, is respectfully confident. Then comes the stare down. From the opening bell, this is different. Both men start throwing bombs immediately. Most fights start slow and build. This one starts at maximum violence and somehow gets more intense. For the first time in years, Tenshin is being forced to work. Rodtang isn't intimidated by the reputation, both men giving everything. The final bell rang, and for the first time in his career, Tenshin had been pushed to his absolute limit. And he's still standing. It's a draw. The judges can't separate them. In any other fight, this might be disappointing. Not here. Both warriors nod. They want more. The crowd wants more. The world needs to know who's really better. 1 round, 3 minutes. Winner takes everything. The bell rings again, and they immediately pick up where they left off. Rodtang knows this is his moment. He throws everything, hooks, kicks, knees, elbows. But Tenshin moves like water. Every attack seems to miss by millimeters. In the final 30 seconds, both men empty their tanks and leave everything in there. The bell rings. Immediately they embrace. This is what mutual respect looks like. This is what happens when two masters recognize each other. The judges deliberate. 60,000 people hold their breath. Millions watching around the world wait for the verdict. Look at his face. This isn't celebration, it's relief. For the first time, he's been truly tested, and he passed. Rodtang shows nothing but respect. This wasn't just a great kickboxing fight. This was a great fight, period. But Tenshin wasn't done proving points. Next came Kyoji Horiguchi, a championship-level MMA fighter who thought kickboxing would be easy money. This is a different kind of dangerous. Horiguchi has fought the best mixed martial artists in the world. He's not impressed by pretty techniques. From the opening bell, Horiguchi brings the dogfight. Wrestling attempts, dirty boxing, everything that makes MMA fighters dangerous. But watch Tenshin adapt. Round by round, Tenshin solves the puzzle, not just winning rounds, dominating them, teaching Horiguchi why kickboxing exists. By the final round, Horiguchi isn't trying to win anymore, he's trying to survive. There was still one more test. One man who could possibly match him, Takeru Sagawa, 3 Division K1 champion, 35 fight win streak, the other claimant to being Japan's best fighter. For years, politics kept them apart. 2 promotions refusing to work together, 2 fighters who needed to fight but couldn't, until the promoters realized that some fights are bigger than business. Some questions need answers. June 19th, 2022. The biggest night in kickboxing history. 60,000 people in attendance, 500,000 more watching on pay-per-view around the world. The entrances alone give you chills. 2 kings entering their kingdom for the last time as equals. Look at these records: 44-0 versus 35-0. 79 professional fights between them, 0 defeats. The referee gives his instructions. Winner becomes the undisputed king of kickboxing. Round 1. Immediately, you can see this is different.
Tension.
Round 2. Round 3. Neither man giving an inch. What happens next is why Tenshin is special. Fighting with one good eye, he not only survives, he dominates. Every dirty trick Takeru tries just makes Tenshin more clinical. The final bell came and both men had given everything, but only one fought with honor. The judges tally their scorecards, and Tenshin Nasukawa remains undefeated. Then comes the shock. In his moment of ultimate triumph, Tenshin announces his retirement from kickboxing. I have nothing left to prove in this sport. I'm leaving undefeated, and I'm leaving on top. The tributes pour in. Fighters, coaches, fans, everyone acknowledging that they've witnessed something that may never happen again. 44 fights, 30 knockouts, 0 defeats. At 24 years old, Tenshin Nasukawa had conquered an entire sport. So how did he do it? How did someone so young, so small, so unlikely become completely untouchable? It wasn't just talent. It was obsession. While other fighters partied, Tenshin perfected his craft. It wasn't just skill, it was mental strength. The ability to stay calm when everything was on the line. Most fighters peak and decline. Tenshin just kept evolving, kept improving, kept finding new ways to be untouchable. Now he's conquering boxing. 4 straight wins. The perfect record continues in a new sport. The answer to our question isn't complicated. Tenshin Nasukawa became untouchable because he understood that perfection isn't about being the biggest or the strongest. It's about being the most prepared, the most dedicated, and the most willing to sacrifice everything for greatness. Sometimes the most dangerous person in the room is the one who looks like they don't belong there at all. And sometimes, just sometimes, perfection is possible. Tenshin's boxing journey is just beginning. 4 wins, 4 knockouts, and rumor has it, there's someone in boxing who's been calling him out. But that's a story for another day. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more legends who changed their sports forever, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. See you in the next one. See you.